today is simple. Our goal is to take this, and this being my 12.9-inch iPad, and get it to mount inside of a vehicle for rear entertainment viewing for long journeys. So, I got something for that. Okay, so this, I'm going to put this away for now, but this is my 12.9-inch iPad Pro. And this is going to be for any size tablet. It does not have to be an iPad even. It can be any tablet. But obviously a 12.9-inch iPad is a pretty large tablet, so if it works for that, it's going to work for the smaller ones too. Especially they're also probably going to be lighter. This is a tablet mount specifically for use in a vehicle. To basically attach to the headrest, one of the headrest bars or headrest pieces in a vehicle. It allows you to attach the tablet and place it where you want to place it. Now, as seen right here, is not actually how it came. There is one additional piece, and the neat thing about these is that they are interchangeable. And I'm actually, maybe I'll bring the video in here to show you what kind of comes with it and what I've added to it. So let's bring it in. Alright, so you can see here, this is where I was loosening up here, was this piece here. So this longer piece is actually one piece that I've added. And the nice thing about this product is that you can purchase additional pieces. And so this arm is one piece that I added. This is actually how it comes right here. And so you can see it's pretty simple to change any angles or add more pieces or change the layout just by using a turn screw. So in this case, this is actually how it is shipped to you. And to be honest as well, these 4 screws here are not attached. You have to attach the tablet holder to the arm. Now also with the arm as well, you can see I have these 4 pieces attached here. They actually do come out. There is some rubber pieces, rubber grommets that actually help hold it in. And so when you actually purchase this, it does come with multiple size pieces. So you can see there's a medium, there's a small, there's a large. And so you choose, depending on your tablet or depending on what you're going to mount here, how big of pieces that you want. They slide into place. And then once you get all 4 slid in, on all 4 corners there's these little rubber pieces here that actually slide into the end and just keep these from just sliding off real easily, right? Obviously you saw that I could remove it still, so you can still remove it, but it just kind of holds it in position so when you want to keep it as wide as possible. Yeah, so you can see what that does. The arm pieces themselves, all these arms here, interlocked with these grooves, if you can see that. So if I loosen up this, I can actually change the angle. And when I change the angle and tighten it back down, it's going to maintain that angle, right? And so you can change it depending on where you're placing it in the vehicle. Or, I mean, it doesn't even have to be in a vehicle, to be honest. It also does come with a Allen wrench, because the 4 bolts that are actually used on the clamp here are actual Allen bolts. And it does come with 4 additional bolts that are longer. And so if these 4 bolts that are already in here, you can't get it wide enough to go around whatever you're going around, then you can actually add on, change out the bolts to these, which will add on, looks like an additional ½ an inch or so. So you can get it around a larger diameter pole. The pieces, the ball mounts, and both sides of the ball mounts, both this side and that side, maybe I'll do this side, they can also pop off. So not only from the ball, so this is the piece that actually attaches to your vehicle, but it also is just kind of a friction fit on to the arm as well. So when you do put everything together though, in this case, just on this piece, every time you tighten this thing down, it does not move. It is very, very well made. It is everything except for the actual tablet holder piece here is aluminum from start to finish. So this is all machined aluminum. The ball's aluminum. It is fantastic because it's really, really well built. All metal, right? And so we're not worried about plastics here. The head is plastic, so these arms and the back piece here, the spring-loaded system, so this is all spring-loaded. And I will show you in the vehicle here in a second. But you know, this is plastic, so this piece has a higher potential of breakability than the arm. This is the only piece I believe that Tackform does not actually manufacture in this case. I'm hopeful that they do make their own version of this out of aluminum maybe someday. So definitely I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it does happen. But that said, let's go up to the vehicle. I'm going to actually go ahead and put my additional arm on here. And I'll show you in the vehicle as well. But I do want to... there we go. I do want to actually put it more toward the middle, and so every vehicle is different in how you're going to mount it. It's going to be different, how you want to mount it. But know that you can add pieces like this in this case here, and I will put a link down below to this specific add-on option as well. So I'll put links down below. Just take a peek at those. But let's head up to the vehicle and install it. So we're in the back seat of my truck, and it's a little cool out, 20s, but the starting point is to mount the ball. So I like to take this piece off the main mount to start to mount it, and I find it easiest, rather than take this apart all the way, just slip the headrest off of the seat, loosen the bracket up a little bit so it slides on to the actual headrest, and I might have to loosen it up just a little bit more. Thought I had it. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. So basically you just slide it up. I like to get it as close to the headrest as possible. That way I have a little more adjustability in the headrest. And it's not going to matter so much if you're perfectly one way or another. It all depends on where you're mounting it, right? And so I'm actually going for a center mount between the headrests so that both my girls that are sitting in the back seat can watch the movie. So I have my Allen wrench that came with it, and all I'm going to do is just quick tighten up the 4 Allen screws or bolts they're basically tie this thing together. You want to make sure that you're kind of clamping evenly on both sides, and then once you get it tight, then you really want to get it pretty tight. So I'm going to use just kind of one little last go around on all 4 of them, just to make sure that we have a good attachment. There we go. So now I have the ball mount on the inside of the armrest side. I'll go ahead and slide this back into place. There we go. So now my ball is here. Maybe try to get a different angle for the camera, maybe from the other side. But now we're going to go ahead and attach. So what I did is I actually do have an extra arm on this one. So like I showed you before, it comes with the 2 smaller arms, and then I added this middle extra arm. I'm going to put a link in the description to where you can buy more parts, and that way you can customize this to your vehicle. I just wanted it more toward the center more, so that's why I added that arm piece. You do not need to. I added it. It did not come with the mount. So let me change the camera, angle of the camera, and we'll get a little better view. Alright, so maybe this is better with the wind too. So you can see the ball mount here. I'm looking to mount this here. With the added arm, it's going to put it basically right in the center. And so now what all I have to do is just loosen up the ball end. Now you can actually take this apart if you want to as well. If you loosen this up enough, the whole thing is going to just fall apart, right? I like having it where it's just right on the cusp of going, but it's still one piece. Enough so that you can get it around the ball. And once you're around the ball, just start tightening to where it's close to firm. I'm sorry if you can't see that. I'm sorry. There we go. So now I'm there, but it's still wobbly, right? I like to have all these connection knobs facing the back way. There's no necessity to it, but everything is movable right now. So you can, at least on the ball side, this side here, depending on if you need to have it one way or another, you may have to adjust kind of like that. So right now, depending on what, how my seats are aligned, this is going to be kind of where I'm probably going to want to go, right about in here, give or take. So I'm going to go ahead and go with about in there, maybe a little. I'm going to raise that up and put it back a little bit like that. And so let me rotate that actually. There we go. Once you clamp this down, it holds extremely well. You just want to make sure that it's nice and tight. Same with all of these as well. If you need to adjust the head out here, this is also a ball joint. And so you can adjust it where you need to have it. And once you have it where you want it, just crank her down. Finger tight. Don't keep it loose. Keep it nice and tight, because that way it doesn't actually won't drop at all. And so here I have my big 12.9 inch, lots of notifications, my iPad. And so I have with kind of the medium sized pieces here. And now my kids can sit back here and through the Apple TV app can watch movies, or through iTunes, or through Netflix, or whatever. If you have data and you want to use it, great. But I like to download movies to my device for traveling. In this case, it allows them to watch a movie on my iPad. This mount is fantastic. I have used this on several long trips, and it has worked awesome. I'm trying not to say bad words because it really is that good. I have used 4 different iPad mounts. Not a single one would actually do the 12.9. All of them would do the smaller 9.7s to 10.5 or something like that. Probably even the 11-inch or the minis for that matter. And they worked, and they always drooped a little bit after a while. This thing is bar none the best mount I've ever used. Now, the one thing that Tackform does not make in this whole item here, and it is labeled for Tackform, they don't make the plastic head here. They make everything else, but it's all solid aluminum. It's awesome. And so I was actually worried that maybe this piece right here would actually maybe break off after a while. And it possibly could, but it is probably the best crafted plastic head of any of the ones that I've used in the past too. So they make a great mount. I'm hoping that maybe someday they actually make an aluminum mount. And the nice thing about how this is built, I could just take those 4 screws out and actually put a different head on. So even if I broke this piece, I can modify and actually replace just this one piece. So Tackform, you make an awesome mount. I'm hoping to do a review of this. I'm going to put a review on this on the site as well. But for installation purposes, it goes on very smoothly. It's easy to adjust. I actually keep this ball head on my in my truck at all times. And so if you have multiple vehicles, that might be another part that I would recommend buying multiple of, and buy maybe a secondary one of. And I'll put a link down to where you can purchase just the ball part as well. So hopefully you understood how it went on just fine. Okay, so I'm back in from doing the install. I brought this back in. I left the ball mount out in the truck though. So prices. The kit with the 2, I think it's 7 inches in total, without the 3 3/4. There's a 3 3/4 inch extension that I have here. Without that piece, so just the 7-inch headrest mount, $45 for the entire set. The additional arm here is an additional $15 for this aluminum arm piece here. If you want to have a secondary ball mount, I believe they're $20. Like I said, I'm going to put links to all of them. But also, you can take a peek when you get to the website. That link to that part, you can look at all of them. So maybe I'll put a generic link where you can see the entire, all the pieces you can add. But there's a ton of mounts that Tackform makes. So definitely check them out. Tackform mounting systems, pretty awesome. Yeah, they say they're built to outlast you. They're made out of aluminum. I mean, they'll last forever. So pretty awesome. And of course, if something does happen, you can replace individual parts. That's the beauty of it. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you back here for another install video. But until then, we'll see you next time. Take care.